Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 7th. You have this card. It says the time is now. It says it's time to act without hesitation, move past the old and move forward. You have this unrevealed secrets. It says what is happening on the surface is not what you'll see if you dive deeper. This is like a summary. Those two cards are like a summary of everything that came up in the last set of readings I did, which I don't remember what I did, but a lot of people were getting these cards that really said you have to dive deep and that you have to take action now. And you have the star, and I always look at the star as a card of needing to make like a full commitment. She is just dipping her toes into the water here. This is the pool of universal consciousness, and I believe that the star sometimes can represent needing to really dive deep into something that you care about, or something that you want to work on in your life, or something that you want to do. And then we have the King of Pentacles, or the King of Cups. I don't know. I'm losing my mind today, apparently. And the King of Cups, he is sitting in the middle of the ocean, and he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. And so for a lot of you, I feel that, while these could be people, because we have the Knight of Cups as well, I kind of feel that these Cups energies, the Knight of Cups and King of Cups, are talking about you diving deep into probably a dream. The Knight of Cups is a dreamer. He is imagining something here, and the story of the Knight of Cups is that he's standing in the desert, and he has this water flowing in front of him, but nothing grows in the desert. But if he plants seeds in front of that water, they will grow. And I feel that a lot of people right now feel like that there is no opportunity, but there really is an opportunity because the water is flowing there. So if they just get started, the time is now. If he just gets started, then whatever he plants in front of that water will grow because the water exists. So I kind of feel it is a time where you might not feel like there's an opportunity, but there really is a big opportunity in front of you. Again, it's probably attached to your dream, or I would say, star in the Wheel of Fortune here. The star can be a little bit more of your North Star, like having one thing that you focus on. I always say we need to focus on that one star that is on the card. It's about having a North Star, having that guiding light. And the Wheel of Fortune is, a lot of people read it as your fortunes changing, or your fortunes, or your destiny. But really, the Wheel of Fortune is your destiny, how you see it, like your vision for your own life. And so I feel for a lot of you, this is saying it's like time to get started, or the time is now to move towards your destiny. But I feel it's how you see it, like your personal vision for your life. And I kind of feel this is true for everyone. I mean, we are in an interesting time. I mean, Neptune and Pisces is like the big impossible dream, but Neptune and Pisces could also be just whatever you are visualizing for your life, or whatever you want to do for your life. And so I feel a lot of you are being asked to move towards like the star and to go all in. And like I said, this was a very common energy in the last set of readings that I did. I saw it a lot. So, but it's like literally coming up for you word for word, practically, with those first two cards. So I would get, moving. I would also say that, again, the other card is also true, especially because of this right here, the King of Cups. The King of Cups has very deep emotions. Like I said, he's sitting in the deep ocean, but he has explored his emotions. The other interesting thing is that he's sitting in choppy waters. And as I say to everyone, I think that over the next 10 years, there will be 1,000,001 reasons not to do anything. But if there's even just one good reason why you should do something, I feel like you should do it. And, that's what the choppy waters on the King of Cups kind of say to me. He's sitting in choppy waters, but he is perfectly fine. His face, he doesn't look stressed out at all on this card because he has explored how he feels about something. He just knows that he feels good about something, and so he's going to go and do it because it feels right. And I think that's all we have right now. That's the only thing that we will be able, the only place we will be able to make decisions from, because, there's probably going to be a lot of weird stuff going on. So I would just pay attention, stay grounded, even though he isn't technically grounded, he's sitting in the ocean, but I would stay grounded and I would get to work. And, that's really what I feel this is saying. So let's actually clarify this first row and see where this is headed. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Empress. I mean, could be a little bit of love. Not really. You do have these Knight of Cups, King of Cups, could be love cards, but the rest of the reading isn't really a love reading. But again, this could still be a person who finds you attractive, because Knight of Cups is usually a knight in shining armor. Empress could say you're very attractive at this time. But this reading kind of says to me also that you are more focused on your own abundance and creating more abundance. We go down to the Eight of Pentacles, didn't want to do that, and then to the Ten of Pentacles as well. So these, this could be you trying to improve your abundance or turn around your abundance. With the Star card, can't make this up. You have the Six of Pentacles, literally my card of planting seeds. I always say the King of Cups needs to plant his seeds in front of that water that's in front of him. So just taking those first steps is probably what you have to do with whatever it is that you're working towards or whatever you're creating, and that will lead to the most success. But again, I feel like you have to go all in on something. What's really interesting is, again, I'll say it again, that you and Pisces are the most similar opposites. Like, out of all the signs that I read for, there are no other signs that get such similar readings between the opposites. And again, this is very similar to the Pisces reading, and a lot of the advice is very similar as well. So if you have any important planets in Pisces, then you might want to go watch that reading. But like I said, I feel like just getting started is what needs to happen. With the King of Cups, here you go. You have the Wheel of Fortune. This would say that your emotions are kind of controlling your destiny. So how you feel about things is going to determine which direction the wheel spins. And I always say that, most people live in the washing machine of life, as I call it. They just live in the Wheel of Fortune. It just spins in whatever direction it's spinning in, and they don't try to control it. And, it's our responsibility to take control of the Wheel of Fortune. It's a very good card, but, it's like sometimes I think people make it out to be better than it actually is. And, it's a good card, but it's good if we take control. So, as I always say as well, double down on the good stuff, take care of the challenges right away in your life. That's like one way to control it. Self-education is another way. Your vibrations is another way. Facing your fears is another way to take control of the Wheel of Fortune. Usually the things we are afraid of are kind of guarding our gold. Our fears guard our gold, meaning that the things that we're afraid of sometimes, we're talking about good things here. We're not talking about, bad things, but, sometimes we're afraid of the things that we want. And if we take control of that, and we face the fear, then we will get what we want. So, the Wheel of Fortune is really about taking control. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Moonlight card. It says Enchanted on it, and you also have this Moon Cycles. It says Patience on it. I feel like you have been very patient, because also in this row, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is kind of like slow, methodical work. It is a card of diligence, doing work well, and, being diligent about the work that you do. And so I feel like you have been kind of patiently working towards whatever you're working towards. You have the Wheel of Fortune again, and the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. It's like the Wheel of Fortune, it's like saying that you could be waiting for something to change, and the Wheel of Fortune says create, I actually feel the whole entire row is saying create the change. Like, there is no need to necessarily wait for something to change, right? And we can create the changes in our life. And you have the Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles, which is like get to work. Knight of Pentacles says, what are you waiting for? He's the card of like no movement. And so it's almost like this row is saying, the good news about it, I would say, is that it's coming up in the area of what's coming in for you. So it's almost like you are making moves, or you are doing things to get the wheel spinning in the direction that you want it to spin in. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, this is like diligent work, which is really what I'm getting for you. He is just doing a good job doing the work that he is doing. So I feel it's saying that you have done a good job with the work that you've done. And I would just keep working on whatever you're working on. I feel like distractions are going to be something that are going to pop up for you. And, it's like one of those things that I would really pay attention to, right? And it's something I would think about. Again, I'm a Pisces, right? And so speaking of Pisces, I pretty much said the same thing to Pisces. That's why I said this at the beginning of the reading. And it's like a couple weeks ago, I did like 5 podcasts in a day. It was just like way too much, right? And so it's like, since that day, I've realized that like I need to draw boundaries with podcasts. I get more and more requests every single day, and I love doing it, but obviously it's not going to be good for me if I burn myself out, right? And so I get the same thing for you. What I get for you is that I think that you could be becoming more and more successful, and people might want more and more of your time. And I don't think this is saying like don't give people your time. I just think it's saying, balance how much time you give to people. You have the Justice card right there. And I'm shooting this on October 1st, and this video will be out on October 2nd, the day of the Libra eclipse. So, you have Libra right here, and, this could be encouraging you to create balance or to only give so much of your time because you only have so much time to give. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is normally no movement. He's standing here, and he's the only knight that isn't moving. All knights actually represent fire because they all represent movement, except for the Knight of Pentacles, which is kind of like no movement. He needs to make a move, and so he needs to plant seeds in this field, and they will grow. And we have a lot of that energy showing up here in this reading where it's really saying that there's opportunity for growth, but you have to plant those seeds, and the time is now. So I would definitely get moving here, Virgo, on whatever you're thinking about doing. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, victory. Really good reading. I mean, this is a really good reading for you. And we have the Ace of Swords twice, which would be a victory, big win. The Ace of Swords can also be like your inner truth. And I feel for a lot of you that, this eclipse that we're having on the day that this video is getting published, October 2nd, could be one of those things where you are having to tell the truth, but it doesn't say that you've been lying. It just means that, it might be a time where you have to speak up or you have to take your time back, which is kind of what I feel for you, is that there is some time that you have to get back because we only have so much time, right? And so you might be doing some reorganizing, especially with the Eight of Pentacles as well. You might be coming up with a daily routine, or you might be only giving so much time to certain things. And I think all that would be good. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Four Wands. Four Wands with the Eight of Pentacles really asks, what can you commit to? I don't know. What can you commit to? I can't answer that question for you, but, I don't really feel this is necessarily talking about marriage or any of that. I think it's saying, what can you commit to and finish, right? I think something also that people forget with the Four Wands is this card of committing to something and finishing it. There's normally that finish line at the top of the card, and it is a card of completion. I always say that, the Four Wands can come up in a reading for a person if they're finishing up a project or something like that, because really the card represents a celebration. It also represents being set free from whatever you've committed to. The people on the other side of the Four Wands, they've already been married, and they're celebrating the fact that they kind of completed something and took it to the next level. And so a lot of the times, if we're not talking about love, which I don't think this reading really is, I think it's saying that what can you commit to? What can you commit to finishing it so that you can be set free, right? And that's what I would focus on here. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is victory, success. The other interesting thing is that we have a lot of attention in this reading. Six of Wands, Star, Empress, and even the Strength card are all cards of attention. And so a lot of you might be working on something that could get you attention, that could make you stand out, that could, make you more popular, make you more attractive, whatever. And so, but I also feel with that Knight of Pentacles, it's kind of saying it's time for you to get to work to get attention, or it's time for you to stand out in some way. And, that's what I would work on. That's really the only thing I would work on with this reading. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Zebra. It says spiritual symmetry, distinctiveness, and self-acceptance. You have the Snakes card. It says fertility and birth on it. So a lot of you could be kind of rebirthing at this time. You also have two snakes here. You have, three if you want to be technical about it, because you have the Wheel of Fortune twice, which has a snake on the side of it. And like I said, snakes guard our fears. Snakes represent fear, and they represent needing to face our fears to get the gold, like I said. And so I feel like that would be important. I also feel like that some of you could be becoming more distinctive with that Zebra card. And it's like you're taking more, you're taking more risks, right? To stand out. It's they did a study on zebras years ago where they were trying to track one zebra in a herd, right? So they put paint on it. But the problem was every time they painted a zebra, it got attacked by a lion because, it basically took away its, not only its camouflage, but it gave the lion something to focus on. So it's when we become unique, we stand out from the herd, right? And we are kind of subject to more attacks, right? I don't know why that's popping into my head, probably because there's a lion right at the top of your reading there. But some of you might need to have the strength to get attacked, right? It's if you're on social media, for example, or if you're working somewhere where you're under the, in the public eye or something, then you're kind of opening yourself up to that. But something like that is popping into my head where some of you might need to have the strength to put yourself in a position where you could possibly get attacked, or you could possibly, and we're not talking about really being attacked, we're talking about, people making fun of you or whatever. And so I feel that some of you need to stand out at this time, and that could be what the Strength card is really talking about. You have the Justice card and the Ten of Pentacles here as well. The Justice card, of course, is about balance and justice. It's also about truth. We have the Ace of Swords twice, so we have a lot of truth coming out in this reading. Sometimes the truth can get you attacked, quote unquote, in life as well. And so some of you might need to tell an uncomfortable truth this week, and it could be the thing that sets you free. Again, I don't feel like this is anything bad, but it's like maybe you don't want to work somewhere anymore, or maybe you don't want to work with someone anymore, or something like that. It's like that kind of truth that's kind of popping out in my head with this card. The Justice card, of course, again, is balance, and with the Libra eclipse, of course, I would balance something out. You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is ultimate success. Again, it's like the only way to get here is to be in truth and also to stay focused. Ten of Pentacles is a very good card. One thing I will say is, I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit boring to me right now, because the Ten of Pentacles comes up for everyone. And, I believe that this is Uranus and Taurus. We have Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus loves like slow, steady wealth building, right? And Ten of Pentacles is ultimate wealth. It is building, leaving a legacy. But that's something we do forever, for the rest of our lives. And so I think that, I always blame Uranus and Taurus for the Ten of Pentacles coming up in so many readings. It doesn't mean that you will have wealth like right now, but it could say that you are laying a solid foundation. With the Strength card, you have the Hangman. I think you've been thinking about something for a very long time. So a lot of you maybe have been thinking about putting yourself in a position where you could be criticized, or, where people might have something to say about what you're doing. And that's exactly probably what you should do, because, again, I think that's where your true strength will come from. A lot of the reading also kind of is saying to me that it's like you've thought something through enough. And, this doesn't have to be a major thing. Maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you're thinking about looking for a new job, or getting into a relationship. But, you're all doing different things. And I feel like the Hangman, but also the whole reading, is kind of saying you've thought, there's no more thinking that needs to be done here. I think you're ready. With the Justice card, you have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, wish fulfillment. So there, you bringing your life into balance will bring in more wishes. I think you need to think about the things that you do that you don't want to do as well. I mean, the guy on the Nine of Cups is in perfect alignment with what he wants. That's why he's getting what he wants. And if you're doing things that you hate, then you are not going to get what you want. And so I would think about that with the Nine of Cups as well. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, really good. This is amazing reading for wealth. I mean, especially this row. This could say that your hard work is paying off, or that you're going to, get some sort of level of success in your life. And I feel like that's what you need to focus on, plain and simple. It will increase your resources. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this mutable moon. It says nothing is yet set in stone. You have this void of course moon that says nothing will come of the situation, which is hilarious. And so it's coming. These are both coming up in the good stuff, which is interesting as well. But again, I kind of feel the nothing will come of this situation is saying that you could have worries or concerns that are holding you back, where really nothing negative or challenging is going to happen if you take the risk. And your very first card is the Five of Swords. And I look at the Five of Swords and the good stuff as taking some sort of risk. Showing up in the good stuff, obviously it's going to be positive, but usually with the Five of Swords, we have to take the risk of entering into battle, and I kind of feel that's what's going on here, just simply with that card. You have the Ace of Swords again, so there could be some sort of victory coming in for you here. I'm also getting the word respect as well. It's like when we live in truth, I feel like we also can get a lot of respect as well, because we are living in truth, right? So even if we have haters or whatever, as long as we're, living in that truth, or as long as like we believe what we're saying, then it's like we get respect. It's like I can think of plenty of people where it's like I don't agree with them, but I can tell that they really believe what they believe, and I respect that, right? And so I kind of feel that with the Ace of Swords. It's one of those things where it's like, in life, you're always going to have haters, but as long as you really, I think, people who get in trouble, it's like they get in trouble because it's like they claim they believe something, but you can tell they waver in their beliefs, right? So they don't have those set beliefs, that set belief system. It's like they're afraid of pissing people off, or they're afraid of being liked and all that other stuff. And it's like those people never get respect. And there's something like that popping into my head with the Ace of Swords. I don't know, weird reading, but there you go. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success. A lot of Eight of Wands energy this week. It could be the Libra eclipse because Libra, the Libra eclipse, number one, eclipse energy to me lasts for like 6 months. So, you could be experiencing this over the next 6 months. But the Eight of Wands is really about removing friction and removing things that cause resistance in your life. So, Libra is balance. Obviously, if you're balancing things out, you're removing friction, which is speeding things up. And that's what the Eight of Wands could be saying for you. With the Five of Swords, you have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith in a new direction. And so I feel for a lot of you that it might be a good time for you to, it says the time is now. The whole entire reading says the time is now. It's time for you to take a leap of faith. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's like you're not meant to stay small. You are meant to expand. And so I think that a lot of you are expanding. A lot of you are growing. And, of course, that's a good thing. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups could be your emotions overflowing, being very happy right here. Also could be a love offer. I mean, there is a little bit of love here. Not really a love reading, but like I said, if you want it, it's here. So there you go. You have this Vine card. It says seek out information that will help you. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is all about hidden or secret information. I always say that with the Ten of Pentacles. And we talked about learning with the Wheel of Fortune. So if there are things you don't know, I would just learn about them. You have this Flute. It says disappointment in a friend or a lover. I kind of feel like this is like past disappointments that might be holding you back. I feel there are many things that go into this card for you. It's like friends, family, all these past disappointments. If you ever have a reaction, I think that reactions can create things in our brain. So it's like even when our parents are disappointed in something that we do or whatever, it's like it can cause us to hold back in the future if we're taking a similar risk, and I feel like that's something you could probably work on. Now you have this Pail. It says time to get out of a situation. Yes, I think we said this, that there's something that you could be leaving behind or something that's taking up too much time. And, I would definitely do that. You have this Tent card. It says temporary situation. If you are dealing with anything, I feel that, it's temporary. And you have this Mountain card. It says major challenges to overcome, but it's a mountain. Where do you get the best views? At the top of the mountain. You are the hermit. The hermit climbs to the top of a mountain. So I feel like you will be perfectly fine. But a very interesting reading here, Virgo. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.